Oh my gosh, y'all. Welcome to 2021. I was on mute. I apologize for that. Thank you so much, Dr. Ortega. We are now going to answer questions from the audience. Please type your question in the question box and press send. Also, as a reminder, if you are requesting pesticide credits from this presentation, don't forget to sign out of this presentation. Then go to the audience chat box and type your first name, last name, and the state for which you are requesting credits. So now we can go ahead and take the first question. And I just want to make sure, Dr. Ortega, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. And so far, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have any questions that I can see in the chat box. Is there anything that you can see on your end?
No. But if there are no questions, I actually have a question for the audience. How many of you have heard about Cyclospora? Just if you can put in your chat, yes, no. I'm very curious to see of this audience, how many are informed on this parasite.
Well, I'm not seeing anything just yet. Oh, we got a no from John.
Okay. I think this is very important, although this is relatively new for us in Georgia, but for the growers and the extension specialists, this will be becoming more of an issue as time goes by. In the past years, as I mentioned in my presentation, we've had domestic outbreaks occurring and associated with products grown in California as well as in Florida. So again, we're so close to Florida, and we have so many crops that are being produced and commercialized in the U.S. From our region. So I think it's very important and very timely that we all get updated and get familiarized with this. Again, if you are an extension specialist, you may be asked about it. And if you are a grower or producer, again, at some point, you may be asked about it.
Just a friendly reminder, if you do have a question, please feel free to put it in the chat box. And Dr. Ortega, you've been working with Cyclospora for a while now, right? When was the first year that you encountered this pathogen?
Yes, you are right. Actually, we are the ones that described it. So it occurred in early 1990s. In 1992 is when we started working with this organism, and I was in Arizona. And we saw this in developing countries. It's a disease that causes diarrhea in children. But in the U.S., our first encounter was with strawberries produced in California that were implicated in an outbreak that occurred in Texas. And that's where it all started. But again, at that time, it was not the strawberries from California. It actually was the raspberries from Guatemala that were imported and presumably contaminated. So that's when we started seeing this organism in the food systems. Again, for us, in those years, I was working with children with diarrhea, so that's where we would look at these pathogens. So I was more in the public health arena, and now, of course, I'm doing more food safety. But that's when we saw the first organisms, first in human populations, and then, of course, associated with foods.
Great, thank you. Well, I think seeing no questions, and since people do have we'll be able to find you online and they'll have a chance to rewatch it, I just want to say thank you again Dr. Ortega, so much for your time and your expertise. To all the attendees, thank you for attending this presentation. And don't forget to sign out for pesticide credits in the audience chat box. And all these educational presentations and the virtual trade show will be available for you to access until April 30th, 2021. So please come back if you missed a presentation or you really want to rewatch one, or if you need to search for a service provider or a product in the virtual trade show. So again, thank you for your participation. Thank you again, Dr. Ortega. And I think that this will conclude our presentation.
Thank you.